I am viewing the editing of the human genome by political and economic lenses. One of the biggest apprehensions people have when it comes to editing on humans is germline gene editing, where changes are made to all cells in a person, and therefore it can be passed down each generation instead of only affecting an individual. So, in terms of business, if there are two services, they will tend to go with the one that is more profitable. So, if somatic gene editing, which only affects the individual, becomes more profitable than germline gene editing, then germline gene editing will not be typical for businesses to provide. To be clear, somatic editing alters only some of the cells in a person and cannot be inherited, and it's older, more well-tested, well-known, and less risky compared to germline gene editing, which alters all of the cells in a person and can be inherited, and is newer, less well-tested, and more risky. So, can somatic gene editing be more profitable for businesses? Because it would need to be administered to both the individual and their offspring even if each individual treatment were to cost less than germline treatment. Because there would be more treatments given, it should yield more profit to businesses in the long run. What I mean by this is that if germline editing, because germline editing would affect the individual and then all of their offspring are free of the inherited trait or disease, it would only affect one person once. So even though it would cost more, the quantity of treatments would be lesser compared to somatic gene editing, where it might cost less per treatment, but because each person would need the treatment, there would be greater quantity of treatments, and therefore it would yield the businesses more profit. So, in conclusion, germline gene editing won't be a significant technology because since somatic gene editing is more profitable in the long run, businesses will tend to offer that instead.
Thank you. What information did you need that you weren't able to find or locate?
I tried to find other examples of where it could, of similar situations to where one treatment that costs more versus multiple treatments that individually cost less, but I couldn't find what I was looking for in that regard.
Okay. How did you use your conclusion to advance your own research?
Right. So I came to the conclusion, and from there, I was able to work backwards to figure out what I need to research in terms of somatic gene editing versus germline gene editing, and with how each treatment could yield profit and stuff like that.
Okay, all right, thank you. Another round of applause. Thanks, Philip.